just picked up 2 Budgies. We were not given their names, we were not given anything about them, which shows to a certain degree how... Hello everyone and welcome back to Clover Knows Pets. I'm Clover, and in today's video we are going to be taking in / rescuing 2 new Budgies. This was half planned, half not. I tried to film most of the process, but it was pretty hard since, they are loud and there was a lot of things that just didn't go as planned and just a lot of really random things that happened. But yeah, after this video is posted, I will be posting a second video, which will be an update on them once we have them for a little bit. So subscribe if you'd like to see that. And anyways, let's get started. Hey everyone, currently in the parking lot of a Quick Trip. Just picked up 2 Budgies. We were not given their names, we were not given anything about them, which shows to a certain degree how much they're being seen as just items instead of actual intelligent beings, or even just beings in general. But yeah, so not sure what we're gonna name them since we weren't told names. I would have asked, but the person that brought them to us and that we met here was not the actual owner. And so basically these guys' stories so far as we know, basically the person got them 8 months ago, decided that they were too much to care for and wanted to rehome them. Now there are a few different problems with this. First of all, if you're only having an animal for 8 months and you already know that's not a good fit, then that normally means you did not do enough research in the first place. I do agree that it's a good thing that they did get rehomed, and I'm not trying to hate on the owner. I don't do that here, and I don't do that during rescues normally. But in this case, I honestly really do think that this is partially just due to ignorance, inexperienced ownership, and just zero research. The person clipped the bird's wings, which is, if you don't know, basically where you take scissors and you cut off the bird's flight feathers, or at least part of the first primary flight feathers, taking away the ability of the bird to fly. If you don't already know the problems with that, it causes psychological damage to a bird's brain. And they also do still think they can fly, at least at first, before they realize that they can't. Which means that they often fall, break their bones, even break their necks, and die doing that. Also, clipping doesn't even fully take away their flight. If there is a gust of wind, if they were outside, they can still fly again. They're just going to be terrible at it, uneven, and most likely fall and either die or get injured. So yeah, clipping is a cruel practice. It is illegal in multiple countries, and it should be illegal everywhere, in my opinion. In the opinion of many exotic avian vets and owners. Anyways, that's not the point of this. Yeah, there are a few other things that are very wrong with this setup, but I'm gonna talk about those when we get home. It's like a 30-minute drive back. For now, let's see them. They are absolutely terrified right now. I feel terrible. We were in a rush and I forgot to grab a towel to put over the cage. But yeah, they're just super scared. Is this guy? Alright, okay. Alright. Doesn't help that we're in a parking lot. Yeah, and then there's that blue one. So there's the rainbow and then the blue. They're both terrified of all of the noises. They're clearly not desensitized to anything. They're also very tiny, and at the bottom of the cage you can actually see flight feathers that have fallen out just due to molting that are clipped, which means that they were recently clipped, or at least fairly recently, and they only just got their wings back. Which means they're probably not going to be able to fly well. They're probably absolutely traumatized. They're clearly stressed. Their feather quality is terrible. And there is also the possibility that they have crop impaction due to all of the cotton toys, and also various other problems, and possibly it is definitely possible that one of them could be egg bound too, because they have one of those happy hut things, or pouches, fleece. So yeah, aside from that, water is in a plastic bowl, which isn't good. It's very unsanitary. It's also quite just gross water. That could be recent though, I don't know. And they are on a improper diet. They also don't have proper perches in here. Individually, these aren't terrible, but the amount of cotton on this really shouldn't be used in a cage, only in a like outside of cage environment so that it can be monitored. And the fact that they don't have any actual natural wood perches is not great. Yeah, they also don't have very many chewable, shreddable toys. The only ones that could be shredded is this here, which they seem to have destroyed quite a bit, and then also those ones in the back, but those are really hard for Budgies to chew on, so I doubt they could destroy those even if they wanted. So plan is get them home, get a health check done on both of them, redo the cage just for the night to make it safer for the night. And then I actually have school tomorrow, first day of school, so that should be interesting. Certainly not the best planning, but these guys needed rescuing, and I am willing to do quite a bit to rescue an animal. So yeah, anyways, continuing with the plan, tomorrow I'm going to just check them over more, try and get to know their personalities more, get to know more about them, and then work on target training and hand taming, along with seeing what they do know for flight, and if they've been completely just like hope destroyed or not. Yeah, we'll see. For now, we gotta get out of the parking lot. As with any rescue I do, in terms of birds, we first get their cage set up on a chair in our bathroom. Reason for this is because it's a small enclosed space, and it's also completely separate from our other birds, which means that we don't have to worry about cross-contamination before I give them a basic check. Now, obviously I am not a vet, but I have taken quite a few notes with vets and talked to them for quite a bit. Specifically, as you might have guessed, exotic avian vets. I've asked them quite a few different questions about things. I've worked with them before on small projects. I've also worked with very experienced rescuers within various parrot rescues, and have been taking notes on this stuff for years now. So I do feel qualified to give them basic health checks. Obviously, it would be illegal for me to prescribe them anything if they were sick, which is when we actually have to take more serious action, but for now I can do their basic checkups. But yeah. Once again, like always, I took pictures of the cage. I took a front picture, sides, top, pictures of the food and water bowls, and then pictures of the ground, along with initial pictures of each of them. Next step is to get them out and weigh them. So I've just got a basic scale with a container on top. Then I tarred it or tared it or whatever it's called. Now for the not so fun part of actually grabbing them out and doing the actual checks and weighing them and recording things. I am going to have to put down the camera for this because I cannot be focusing on videoing when I'm holding a extremely stressed and fragile being. So yeah. Alright, okay, I promise you, okay. As you can see here, they actually do still have clipped feathers, just not the flight feathers. Anyways, I weighed them and they ironically were both 31 grams, but yeah. Now we do have a larger cage for them once they move out with the others, at least for orientation before they learn to fly again and learn to free roam the home, like our others. But for the night, this isn't the tiniest cage. It's certainly not large enough, but it's not the worst, so we're going to keep them in here tonight. Just going to fix up all this. I haven't seen this before. Zoom Ed sticker, but, okay then. I don't know why, but this food is soaked. Like, look at that. It's mush. What? Like, all of that's wet. Weird. Apparently they had readily access of millet, so that's not great. Found these at the bottom of the cage, some of the clipped feathers. These pellets happen to be the same kind that we use in our bunnies litter boxes. So I've got practically everything out, and now I'm just going to add another perch in there so I can take this one out and they'll still have something to perch on, because I seriously doubt they want to go to the bottom now. Brand new Java wood perch for them. This one's quite large, but it'll work temporarily. Alright, time to very slowly and carefully put in some more perches. I've got the perches in, now time for toys. For pellets, I'm just using Harrison's pellets, and I'm not going to do a diet conversion yet. Instead, I'm just weighing the pellet bowl, and then I'm going to put it in there, wait a day, and then weigh it again to see if they've eaten anything. Because Higgins pellets, which is what they were eating along with apparently a lot of millet, are a very poor quality pellet, but they do look very similar to Harrison's pellets. To be honest, Harrison's also aren't my favorite. I prefer Tops pellets mixed with Mikey and Mia's dry mix, but we unfortunately just ran out of both of those and the new shipment hasn't come. So this will work for now. For toys, I've got this homemade toy, this repurposed toy, a brand new bird kebab, and this toy from Oxbow. I also got a Planet Pleasure toy. Okay, so this is how it turned out. Trying not to get too close yet, since they're clearly very scared. But yeah, one of my favorite things. This is Eclipse, my very tame budgie. I'm just keeping her with Millet right now so that she stays on my hand and not on the cage. Her reactions. Do you want some Millet? There you go. Look at that. There you go. Alright, let's move the Millet. Eclipse, what do you think about that? Who is that? Be nice. What do you think about those birds? Step up? Good. Who is that? What do you guys think? You good, Eclipse? Hey, come here. Step up. Oh, you're spooked. Okay. I'm gonna check them out. What do you think about that? Yeah. It's alright. Got the blue girl on my finger. I just set my hand here and she soon hopped over to my finger for Millet. This girl was also eating some, but hasn't decided to perch yet, so yeah, still very scared, obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna stop filming to pay attention to them. Later that night, I attempted to take the blue budgie out of the cage. What do you think? You're not in a cage anymore. Yeah. Everything's alright. Everything will be fine. You wanna sit here? You stay on my finger, huh? Oh! Alright, sweetheart. You can do it. Here, you want some Millet there? There you go. They're so pretty. You're alright. Everything's okay. Okay. Got both of them on my hand for the first time together. Just gonna slowly move down. They're not spooked as of now. They're weary for sure, but nothing more than that. I'm not sure if they can fly or not because they've been clipped, as far as I know, their entire life. Also don't know where they came from, but judging by their colorations and their size and such, I'm gonna guess probably one of the chain pet stores. So Petco, PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus, one of those places. Yeah. Just gonna slowly move out. For all I know, this could be their first time ever being outside of a cage. And that's actually quite likely because the lady mentioned that they weren't really allowed out, so yeah. Certainly new. After taking them out for a bit, I left them alone for the rest of the night, and I saw them sitting there cuddling together, absolutely adorable. proves that they are certainly bonded, but yeah. Super sweet birds, and I'm really happy to have been able to help them. The next morning, I got up extra early to check on them and just see how they were doing, make sure that they were still safe and hydrated, and to see if they'd eaten any food, and this is how they reacted. I got them out on my hands, or at least the blue one, and then the rainbow one hopped right over. They seemed quite hungry, and they also did eat all of the pellets, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, they seemed really motivated by millet, which did surprise me, seeing that they had access to millet in their previous home. But nonetheless, it was a present supplies, because that meant I could see if they were reluctant or not to flight, or the idea of flight. It did seem a little off balance still and stuff, and a little bit reluctant at first, but once the rainbow one tried it, the other soon followed. This was an amazing sign to see, as it meant that they weren't crazy scared of flight, and they hadn't yet learned that they can't fully, which is absolutely outstanding. Keep in mind, during normal training, you do not want to feed this much millet. This was a special occasion. Okay, I'm all the way over here. Can you get it? Can you come to it? Come here, get the millet. Come on, get the millet. Good job. Come on. Do you want it? With this. With that. You want the millet? So much millet. So much millet. Good. Good job. Good job. That was great. Good job, you guys. Look at that. He's not minding me touching her back. Okay. Good job, you guys. That's awesome. Will you stay on me? Do you want to stay? Oh, it does a... All right, you two. Certainly hungry. As far as the whole Harrison's thing and no need for diet conversion, that worked well, since there is no pellets on the bottom of the cage and none in the bowl. So, yeah. That worked fine. Let's try this. Come on! Do you want the millet? Come here! Come here! What's this? You see that? Good job, Indigo. Good. Oh, yes. Good job, you guys. Good job, best. Hey, Bobby. Go in there. Step down. Good. Okay. Oh, come here. Clips, 1 second. Step up. Good. As I'm editing this, I'd just like to mention that me saying step up is not expecting the bird to know, but instead teaching them that that word happens whenever they step up, so that in the future they know to step up when they hear that word. Mist off. Okay, you three. Eclipse. Good. Go to perch. Good. Anyways, this video is getting quite long, and so if you stuck all the way to this time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something from it. But I am gonna have to end it at that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I will end up posting updates on these guys, both in short form videos and then also most likely long form videos. I'm also hoping to actually make a tutorial with them on target training, since they are not target trained, but they will be pretty soon here. So yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see that. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos similar to this, because we are bound to do more rescues like this, even if we don't keep the animal. So yeah. You may have heard me refer to the new Budgies as 2 different names, but I ended up swapping their names pretty quickly. The rainbow one, which is yellow mostly, is named Indigo, and the blue one is named Mist. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.